Welcome back to The Last Word with me, Justice Malala. I continue my conversation with Moeletsi Mbeki, economist, author, and political analyst. Moeletsi, you ended off our last segment saying we are entering a period of real politics in South Africa. I want to take on that. The ANC, at the moment, the last count was below 50% for the first time in 12 elections since 1994. What does this mean for these elections? And I know they are not national elections, they are local, but can we begin to project to 2024, and what scenarios can we begin to paint out of that?
Well, you see, the ANC is part of our history in Africa of liberation movements from colonialism and from apartheid. So those movements tend to dominate the politics of the country for a long time and to stay in power for a long time. We saw this, for example, with ZANU-PF in Zimbabwe, which was in power for quite a long time. We saw it with Kenneth Kaunda's party. We saw it with Nyerere's party. We are seeing it in Mozambique with Frelimo and MPLA. What is happening in South Africa? Now, the core message of the traditional nationalist parties, which the ANC is that we, the African people, are oppressed as a people, are not oppressed as a class. And therefore, we must all stay together and not disagree with one another. What these elections, why they are a watershed, is that what we are saying is the middle class is now dominating our politics, and it is the one that the working class is saying we are not part of this. We are going to look for our own party. The middle class is actually right of center. You see, for example, the emergence of Herman Mashaba's party, the Action South Africa. That is the core party of the African middle class, of the black middle class. And it's doing very well, and it is doing very well with the support it's getting from the middle class. But what the low voter turnout is telling you is that the working class has disengaged with this, and it will come back eventually, but it needs a party that is left of center. Our politics in South Africa and our economic policies are right of center. Excuse me, are right of center. All our parties are right of center, including the ANC. So we now have a space which is the left of center, which is where the people who are not voting, that's the party they are looking for.
But let me ask you this question. COSATU is in alliance with the ANC. The South African Communist Party is in alliance with the ANC. When you talk about the left in South Africa, I put it to you that there is no left. It's all in the ANC. So there is actually no left-leaning. There isn't even a conversation.
No, that's why I'm saying that the working class in South Africa is now realized it needs a party. It wants a party to the left of center and to the left of the ANC. The ANC, the COSATU, and the Communist Party, they are part of the ANC. They are not left-wing parties. They are integral parts of the ANC. Don't be deceived by the name and by the title communist. People think the name means that the South African Communist Party is left-wing. The South African Communist Party is right-wing. It's like China. You know, many people see China and they say Chinese Communist Party is ruling China, and they think China is a socialist country. China is a capitalist country, and its economics are capitalist economics.
Okay, let me ask you this question. What are the prospects for a left movement rising and a left party being formed and leading these disgruntled masses in electoral politics?
For me, I think they're very good. South Africa one of the strengths of South Africa, we have a very strong and very active civil society, which has always been involved in looking after the welfare of the underprivileged. So they are part of the left movement. Secondly, and this is one of the unique things about South Africa, the business in South Africa realizes that if the welfare of the mass of the people of South Africa doesn't improve, their businesses will be destroyed. So ironically, business in South Africa is more to the left than what the middle class is. The middle class in this country is to the right, but the business elite is more to the left so you already can see a coalition in the making that between this working class that is now boycotting the politics of the middle class and business, which the middle class is not looking after the interests of the capitalist class, because you saw in July when the property of the capitalist class was being destroyed, the ANC just sat on its hands and watched and told the police don't do anything.
I'm going to move you totally away. I want your quick answers on a few key issues. Coalitions, they were very unstable between 2016 and today. We're going into coalition negotiations now. Can we see some stability in these new talks and new coalitions that might emerge? Have we learned anything?
Yeah, I think the parties concerned have learned something, that you lose power. For example, the DA lost power in Johannesburg. It lost power in Nelson Mandela Bay. So they now must do understand that in a coalition of this nature, you have to have a compromise between the parties rather than trying to dominate, which is what happened in the previous round. And I think that's what we're going to see.
You mentioned Herman Mashaba, and you mentioned the rise of personality-led, or rather right-of-center parties. Kuseli Jack ran in Nelson Mandela Bay. There were others. Is this a trend where the black middle classes is going to go more towards almost Trumpian-type parties like these?
Yes, the black middle class now is moving more and more towards personality-type parties, personality-led parties. Yeah, I think this is a trend that we are seeing.
Moeletsi Mbeki, I've run out of time. It's been fascinating talking to you, and I hope we have this discussion again, particularly about the rise of a left movement, which I tend to disagree with you about, but I look forward to that conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
After
Justice.
the break, SACP Provincial Secretary in the Eastern Cape, Lazola Ndamase.